Okay, so I got Rusty Mashore on the phone. This is our first phone interview, y'all. So, Mr. Rusty, back up and tell them about yourself again. We just did this and we didn't have something going right, so it's growing pains. So, lay it on us one more time. Tell us what you just told us.
We'll try it again.
Yeah, do it one more time.
Just Rusty. I mean, I'm Rusty Mashore. I run Mud Creek Hog Dog trials here in Ringland, Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and several years ago, some guys, they was on me pretty hard about putting in a bait pen up here, and I was moving a lot of hogs anyway, trapping and catching a lot of hogs, and I kind of needed a spot where I could handle that big amount of hogs, and I said, well, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put a bait pen with it. So I said, if I build it, y'all got to come, and it's kind of went from there.
When you say you're trapping a good amount of hogs, like how many hogs are you talking? Like, say a monthly amount, and then maybe a yearly amount.
I mean, I've always undershot that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're not gonna overdo it, but it's a lot of hogs.
Yeah, it's almost unreal, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, on an average month, if I'm trapping hard, it's not nothing to catch. I mean, 60 to 120 a week times.
Yeah.
Just depending on.
Yeah. Now that's per week. That's per week average. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you'd say probably slow weeks would be 50. Good weeks would be 150.
Yeah, I'd probably say a slow week's around 20. Just.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Just for a good number.
You also guide hunts and stuff as well, correct?
I do. I work for Tornado Valley Outfitters and Stewart Ranch and Outfitters. I do all the dog hunts for Tornado, and then we run thermal also for Tornado and Stewart Ranch Outfitters. Yep.
Now on the how long have you been doing that stuff?
I've been working for Tornado and Stewart's both I've been working for Tornado about 4 years, and then Stewart's about 3.
I got you. But
yep.
you've been in this game for a long time.
I started hog hunting
in some form or fashion, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I started hog hunting with dogs when I was 9 years old, and I'm 37 now, so
you're old, man.
I've seen the game change, I mean, when I was hunting, I think when I started hunting, I mean, that I can remember, I think there was like 4, maybe 5 hog hunters in the state of Oklahoma.
Wow.
And, that hunted with dogs. But
yeah. See, that's kind of the way it was with me here. There was guys that was hunting with dogs, but there weren't many. And then I've seen it change. And a lot of it's for the better. We got there's a lot more guys, hey, we can go hunt together and we can hang out, and for the majority, everybody gets along pretty good. So, it's changed for the better in that part, but it hasn't changed for the better in a lot of other ways. So has it changed for the better? How would you say on your end?
About the same. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's kind of push and shove,
Yeah.
There for a while, it was everybody's uncle's cousin's brother, had hog dogs. But,
yes.
Or thought they did.
Yeah, I was going to say they thought they had some.
Right.
Yeah, and I was one of those guys. I was blessed to get in with some really good people that had dogs. So I kind of, and I was already an adult then, so I knew what hog dogs were supposed to be doing by the time I got my first one. So,
right.
I had a leg up, and then those guys also gifted me a lot of dogs. And then when they got out of it, they kind of passed them on to me. So I just got lucky. I couldn't imagine some of these guys, how they have to start from absolutely nothing and they don't know much and they don't know anybody. And they're starting this whole thing like we're doing. Shit, man, that's a lot of years go into this.
Oh yeah.
To get it right. So
it is. I was lucky. I mean, I was lucky from a pretty young age to hunt was behind some really, really good dogs.
Yeah.
And that hog dog term is something I don't use very. I mean, I I don't just throw it around. I mean,
Yeah.
it. I think out of all the years I've hunted, I've had probably five what I'd call a true hog dog. You
I think I've had three. What that I would say in that classification,
Right? Yeah.
and well, probably four, and the last two were one of them was an absolute cull from somebody else, and when we got the dog, I don't know what changed, but something changed, and I'm telling you, that was a hog dog.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, the kind that I like, and it wasn't a super rough run and catch dog like most of the stuff that we run.
Mm-hmm.
This dog was a bay dog. Uh, was not a real loose dog or anything. Very seldom put themselves in a position to get hurt, but ultimately in the end, it happened, and wouldn't have had it any other way. If she
Yeah.
was going to go out, I'd rather go out like that. But
Oh yeah.
there's been very few hog dogs that I've actually walked behind on my yard. I've got a bunch of them that'll find a hog. Now I've got a
Right.
bunch of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your breed of choice? Catahoulas?
No. No.
I know what you like.
I've always
Oh,
been a yellow dog fan.
yes,
I
sir.
mean, I grew up with yellow dogs, and
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, I'm one of them guys. I don't care if it's purple, if it's what I like to hunt.
that's
I
right.
mean, I'll hunt him, but
Yep.
I've kind of deterred away from the spots a lot.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, they're mainly a blackmouth. Like what I run now is mainly a blackmouth cross. The dogs that's in my pen right now go back to the first dog I got when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Uh,
What kind of
that's,
cross? What kind of cross you talking? Or do you
the
not want to say?
oh man, don't bother me. But I mean, I bred a little bit into them here and there.
Yeah.
To help on some things
Yeah.
that I thought they needed. But
Gotcha.
mainly still a blackmouth Catahoula cross.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of like in my dogs now. There's a little bit of hound, a little bit of July in them.
I've seen where that's coming into play. Uh, and it's I don't want to say that it's just coming into play because it's not. Like you said, you've
No,
had it since forever. There's other guys out there, uh, Jake Locano, Pat Lewing, uh, Logan Campbell, bunch of those guys like Ed Barnes. They've always had some other stuff crossed into theirs. We always ran all different kinds of crosses, but it seems like with the blackmouth cur that somebody has a line similar to yours that has a little bit of hound or a little bit of bulldog somewhere back in there or a little bit of
mhm.
Catahoula, it seems like those really shine. Like those become those are the hog dogs. Those are
Man,
what turns out to be the hog dogs.
like here, I mean, it's kind of weird, and I mean, and if they can do it in my county, they can do it anywhere in the country.
Yes, sir.
And uh, I mean, and I don't know what it is about this, this little 3 county area. And I mean, there's coon hunting guys here, that go and they run, trials everywhere across the United States, and
Yep.
they'll tell you, if they can do it on Mud Creek, they can do it anywhere. And
I
and
could see that.
I've always kind of believed that, because we got a mix of different. I mean, like you can go from where I am and you can go west and you're more like in West Texas, and then you go east and you're more, into kind of the more creek, the big creek bottoms and the pine. I mean, you get on further in there and you'll get into some pines and some, different stuff. Then you get north of here and it's post oak, thick post oak
Mm-hmm.
briars. You go south, you're getting in towards the river flats,
Yeah, you see a
and
lot of terrain change when we came out there.
yeah,
I went two different directions to come to your place. I went, a different way this time than I did the first time, and the terrain was drastic. I mean, literally, like you said, you'll be in, a really rough, more hilly terrain here, and then in 10 minutes, you're in just flat, open fields with a bunch of dry washes and gullies and river bottoms, and then you'll be over here to where it's just thickets and real thick stuff. I could see where you, because see, it's similar here. It's not as, I'm not gonna say it's as drastic, because we'll have like a lot of big hills in one section of the state, and when I say that, I mean like a quarter of the state, and then it'll be different in all four corners, because
Right.
we go all the way from the Gulf to the mountains and everything
Right.
in between. So you can get, there's a lot of guys that coon hunt here's the same way. They like taking their dogs and starting them here where there's not a lot of coons and the terrain's rough, and then they take them on those big hunts, in say Michigan or Ohio, somewhere like that, and there's more agriculture, and
Right.
they really, their dogs really perform.
And I think a lot of it, not hunting dogs the same way. I mean, because my dog, I mean, I may get a wild hair and I may cast them one night, or I may throw them good and I may rig them, or man, just hunt different, I guess.
Yeah. And how many dogs do you got? Like say, how many dogs do you got in your pack that you're hunting?
The main pack, I don't really hunt a whole lot of dogs. A lot of times, I mean, I'll hunt 2 or 3 cur dogs, and I run one cat. That's it.
I got you. I didn't, because I mean, some people they'll have, like us. A lot of times we'll have 4 to 6 dogs. It just depends on where we're going.
Right. Yeah.
And depends on how we're hunting.
Yeah.
If we're hunting rough dogs, I want a bunch of them.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I know guys that they pride themselves on having them 1 or 2 ranked cur dogs that can stop a Mack truck. Hey, and that's great. There ain't no doubt. But
yeah,
I got 6 of them. I'm gonna put 6 of them down if that's what it calls for.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a picture off the game camera yesterday, and I might have to call some help, some helicopters or something in, because I got some rough dogs. But man, there's 15 boar hogs together.
That's crazy,
dude. It is insane. I was telling you something about it.
Yeah, you was telling me a little bit about it.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna send you the picture. And when you see these hogs, you zoom in, their damn bellies are about to drag the ground. They are the biggest hogs that I've seen in a pack like that, in a group. I don't know what we're going to do with them. I might have to break out the old pig brig.
There you go.
I'd be scared to turn them cur dogs of mine loose. They might cur out. I don't know.
Sure.
I'll put the Jags on him.
Yeah, break out some of them.
Them Patterdales, them Jags, shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But, no, talking about the way you were just talking about the dogs, you might get a wild hair and cast them. You might rig hunt them or whatever it calls for. Are those dogs like that? Because I've got just a couple that'll hunt any way you want to hunt. But the majority of them, they tend to lean more toward one way. So how hard is it to get the dogs to cast versus rig hunt versus walk hunt or road hunt, whatever?
I mean, I think a dog will always lean. I mean, he'll be better at one side of it than he will.
Yes.
Both sides. But I mean, I've had several dogs just, they was good. It didn't matter which way you wanted to hunt them, But you'll find that one every once in a blue moon that'll be.
Yeah, just go out.
Yeah,
I mean, do it all.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Do you like silent dogs or open dogs? Does it matter?
I do run a silent dog. I don't want him barking until he's
there. Yeah.
I had a Jip a long time ago, and she's probably one of the top 2 Jips that I owned in my life, and she'd chirp behind a hog,
yeah.
But she was hard headed enough. It didn't matter if it run from here to your house, she'd be there at the end of it.
And that, there's a lot of people that I think they misconstrue, especially guys that first start hog hunting or haven't been around it a whole lot. I think they misconstrue the conception of what we're talking about, silent versus open dogs.
Right.
You can catch a hog with any of it.
Oh yeah.
With any of it. If you got a dog that's wide open, screaming on track, but he's running 16 to 18 miles an hour,
Yep.
I mean, okay, you're going to catch the hog.
Oh yeah. No.
If you got an old hound that just bumps every now and then, but he stays steady, he can push him long enough, you know, or he might not press him enough to even run. Hog might take a bait. Silent dogs, they might not ever, you know, the way ours work, a lot of times we'll be on top of them while they're in the bed. We put GoPros on them, and we used to run a lot of GoPros years ago before there was ever a GoPro 2 or 3. This is back a long time ago. And then
Right.
for a period of years, we quit. And then my buddy Rodney Bell, he had some to put on his dogs. And so now we done got back into that. Rodney's got a really good design on his collar and the way he's got it. And we're trying to pass that design along to where we can produce it and market it, you know, because the way it is right now, it works phenomenal. But it's, you know, it's made, homemade stuff that you put together. It'd be hard to market it. But having those GoPros on, our dogs will see them go basically wake the hog up. And sometimes that's a good thing. But you also got to stop and think, if you ain't run that hog none, he's fresh.
We would like to interrupt this episode to take a moment to thank our sponsors and friends of Dixie Doggers Podcast. Southern Cross Cut Gear, Boars and Broads, Hardcore Hog Dogs and Cut Gear, Showtime Premium Pet Food, Animal Housing Solutions, Tuskers Magazine, American Doghorn Association, 4L Kennels, Hogbaying.com, The Boar's Nest, Crockett Taxidermy, Mud Creek Hog Baying. A big shout out to all those people and companies who help make us who we are. Thank y'all.
So I can imagine that stuff on the dogs hunting there, ain't it?
Oh yeah, it is. But I like hunting that dry. I've always liked hunting and starting dogs in that dry, hot weather, you know.
Well,
I don't know.
Why do you like it better like that?
Man, it just seems like, you know, if you take them dogs when they're young, you know, and you start them in that dry, hot, and, you know, scent don't stay on the ground very long.
There you go.
Dry, hot stuff. And, man, when the wintertime hits and they got a little moisture in there,
they go crazy then.
They burn them down. You know? I mean, make a year-old dog look like he's sometimes.
Yep. That's kind of, we got a lot of humidity, so we always got a good bit of moisture. And,
right.
And in the mornings, that, you know, of course, that's our best time. But, you know, and I'm the same way, like you're talking about. I try to make it as tough on the pups as I can. But at the same time, I want to set them up for success, but I want to make them hunt.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll do late evening hunts while the sun's just still up and it's real dry. A lot of times we'll take the pups out when it's like that. And like you said, if they can get to where they're finding pigs in that scenario, well, when they have enough moisture on the ground, they really get busy.
Oh yeah, they can burn a track, you know, come.
Well, with you doing all these different methods, you know, running dogs, the thermal, the trapping, there's the age-old question: which one is most effective? Now, not just to hunt, but if we're, you know, as far as taking care of a property. Say you have a landowner that calls you and says, "Look, I got to get rid of these hogs," you know, or is it a combination of all of it?
Man, you know, as far as eradication goes, a cell phone trigger trap is I mean, it's the way to go if you're wanting to, you know, totally eradicate a set of pigs.
Yeah.
You know, you hear all kinds of stories and, you know, and methods and everything. But, I mean, as far as, big boars, your dogging part's going to be that's going to be your way to go. But number wise, I mean, them cell traps are deadly. I mean, and I got a lot of thermal hunts, a ton every year. We can take, on an average, we'll have four shooters, and we shoot into a group of 50, 60 pigs. On average, they're gonna kill 4 to 8.
Yeah.
Every time. If I take a cell phone trap and I bait it in, and there's 50 in a group, I can sit there and watch a live feed camera till number 50 goes in the gate and close the door, and there's 50 gone.
That's it. Yeah. And you're not educating them either.
No, and that's a big deal there. I mean, I know some guys run some boar busters and stuff, and if they miss one hog, I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
And
I've tried to tell a lot of people that around here, if you drop that trap and all of them are not in it, then I don't know. To me, it's like you're not doing any good then. Just because if you got 10 of them and there's 20 left, you didn't do shit.
No, you didn't. You didn't do anything.
No, all you did was create work for yourself.
Right. And here we had, they used to shoot them a bunch with a chopper and stuff. And man, I'd catch hogs behind a chopper.
I've had several people tell me the same thing.
And it used to be funny to watch it because, I mean, there's some spots they flew that I could dog hunt, around it. And they'd fly a chopper in there all day, and then pigs would go to one little thicket, and they just huddle up.
Just huddle up, yeah. That's what I was thinking the same thing. Like,
and they could blow a siren over the top of them all day long.
It ain't gonna move.
They wouldn't move a lick,
Yeah.
And you watch a 5-pound shoat, or baby pig, I mean, you watch a 5-pound pig run to a briar thicket and hold down, and I mean, they blow a siren over him for 10 minutes. I mean, and he does that from the time he's little.
Yeah, when he's bigger, he's not. Shit.
Hey.
When they show up and they hear the chopper fire up, they're liable to go over there and just sit down by a stump and just lay there.
Oh yeah.
They're intelligent animals. That's a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Well, that's like that group of all them big boars I'm talking about. Look, we're up there and hunt that place all the time. How does that many big boar hogs live that long? And it's because they're in that group. That's what I'm thinking. Like they don't split up. I've caught this group on camera a few times, and it's been over the period of the last 4 or 5 years, and it blows my mind every time I see them. But they're extremely smart.
I don't think they get enough credit for how smart they are.
No.
I mean, I've watched them. I got a good dog of mine killed a couple months ago, and that spot where he was at, and that hog had lived his whole life in a spot that we thermal hunt, on a regular basis. And I mean, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a week, and don't see hog like, that I got on that day. I mean, he was, he lived right in the middle of all that stuff.
That's crazy.
He lived in a quarter mile square, and he lived his whole life there. Never, as far as I know, he didn't come out till I bumped him, and just happened onto him. And it's amazing sometimes just, how smart they are. And,
yeah.
And it don't take them long to pick up on stuff either.
No, it doesn't. Like I said, there's a lot of guys. Excuse me. They start out deer hunting, and then they get, say they start out and they're running dogs, and then they get into still hunting, and then they get into bow hunting, and they want to kill this one big buck, and they try to compare it, or try to say like this one big deer is smarter than this big boar hog.
And I
would have to disagree,
I promise.
Look, them big boar hogs that we catch. Say you catch like that one you caught. I've caught them. All the guys that I named off, all the guys I know, everybody's caught that one.
Oh yeah.
And guys like us have been lucky to catch several. It's not because we had him pegged out and patterned. It's because we got lucky or we did see a track. It's not because we watched him for 5 or 6 years grow up and fed him, had him on camera every damn day, push protein to him and all that shit. To me, that's why I'm like, how can it be that damn? How can you try to compare that? Like,
I mean,
we catch them by accident.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it, and I mean I used to do a lot of deer hunting too, and I mean, you know, a 6-7-year-old deer in the prime of his life, and I mean I've got a wall full of them, but I mean that they're not as smart as, you know, 250-pound bull hog's been hunted every day of his life either.
Yep.
I mean they'll make a deer look plumb dumb sometimes.
Without a doubt. And that old buck, you know, once that doe kicks in, it changes because I've seen some monsters. I mean,
oh yeah,
I've seen them where they're just walking down the road in front of a damn truck like they're crazy. You know, they're horned up and ready to breed.
Oh yeah, we call it rut drunk here.
Yeah, exactly. First time I ever seen that after I got older, I literally was driving behind this deer on a gravel road and literally got up close enough that I touched him with the truck before he took off. And he didn't go far. And you ain't gonna do no boar hog like that. Yeah. Not any I've ever been around, not no big ones.
No, you know, a bunch of guys around here that give me a hard time. I tell them, I mean, I'd rather catch a 300-pound boar with 5-inch teeth versus kill a 200-inch deer.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, that's just me, you know. But
we had a customer come in earlier. My wife told me I went and got some peanuts. Well, he said, well, he told my wife, he said, I'd like to try to get some of them. He said, he must be going to use them for deer. He said, I know he's not going to feed them damn pigs. Kelly said, you don't know him too good. I was like, I wouldn't waste them on deer.
Hey, we used to feed pigs here. We did. They make their teeth grow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, I'm fixing to put it out on a pile. I got a bait pile, and hogs are all around it. And I don't know what it is. Like I said, every now and then I'll get a good boar hog on camera. You can go up there, and if I got one coming in every day for a week, then we go up there and hunt. We're gonna catch a shoat, something about 100 pounds.
Right.
We ain't gonna catch it. But now, seeing I don't jump and run when the camera goes off either.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so if I done that, yeah, I could catch him. I don't know, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just don't like hunting like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the new cell cams, they're a game changer. I love them.
Deadly, man.
But yeah. Now, if it comes down to business, like you said, eradication, getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the greatest tool. You know, besides your trap. But for enjoyment, I like seeing what's coming in on camera. But at the same time, I don't use that to go catch hogs. I don't think you can run when the camera goes off. Take your dogs, drop it on a really hot track, catch this big old boar hog, post pictures all over the internet, Facebook or whatever, social media, and say you got great dogs.
No.
I don't want to offend anybody like that, but it's, you know, if I know he was there Tuesday and I go hunt Saturday and he hasn't been on camera or anything and I still catch him, okay, I feel a little better about that.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just everybody's different.
Oh yeah.
Some people hold a higher regard, I guess.
And you'd be surprised how much that happens now.
I know a couple of guys.
I do too.
Yeah. Hey, I promise you, they'll be like, got a good one on camera right here, and then an hour later they'll be posting that shit.
Oh yeah.
And talking shit, you know. And hey, I don't bust them out, and I don't knock them down either. That's the way they want to do it. That's their business. And, and that's awesome. Hey, if you're happy, I'm tickled.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
no doubt.
But, no doubt. So we're going to have another baying, you said?
You bet. Yeah, December 9th and 10th. Be a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Now, we did a little different on this last baying. We had
the woods class, and that's I think, I was talking to Ed after it was over, and he said, man, I really think that's going to be something. And I said, I hope it is,
I believe it will.
I do too. This one, we're going to do this one a little different too. I'm going to have one dog and I'm going to have 2 dogs.
That's going to really change it up.
And the woods deal. I'm going to do it on Sunday. I'm going to do the pro stuff on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Sunday, we'll do the 1 dog, 2 dogs woods. And I do it a little different, like me and you talked before this last one, and a bunch of people have a woods option or something, but I wanted a class, where a guy could come and put a woods dog in it and not have to worry about competing against a dog,
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that difference in the option and the class, because regular woods guys who've never been to a bay, they don't really correlate that. They just see their dog in there against Goose or somebody like, Matador, Johnny White and them's dogs, Miss Ray and them's dogs. They, you got all these pro dogs, and then you bought your option, so you got about 5 or 6 woods dogs in there, and they don't look as good compared to these other dogs. But when you put 30 woods dogs together running with each other all in one class and make it an event, dude, it worked out good.
Oh yeah. Everybody had fun. I mean, that I talked to, everybody had a good time.
And, everybody. And we're gonna judge it a little differently, like we were talking about.
Yeah, we're still kind of working that deal out, on how to do it, but it's gonna be judged a little bit different. And I think, we got a good platform, to go off of with the pro dog. I mean, we got to do something, as far as, I ain't gonna say, we can hold them to the same standard as we can a pro dog.
And I agree to that, because I have pro dogs as well. And my pro dogs should perform a certain way.
Oh yeah.
And I don't have any issues if you dock them like that. That's fine. That's what they're born, raised, bred for. That's what they're supposed to do. But then I have my woods dog over here. It's a totally different animal. Some of them can do both, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But very few can do it consistently and do it to the same standard as a pro dog.
Oh yeah, and there's gonna be some, like at my bay, and there was a couple of them there.
Yeah.
12 dog of Carter's and that black tan dog of Bubba's.
Look, that dog right there was phenomenal.
And he's tough. He is tough.
And I hope Bubba listens to this. Like I said, we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. The only issue that there was with that dog was when Bubba was getting all hyped up. He was fired up. Everybody had been drinking some cold beer, and he was hooping and hollering, and his dog kept looking at him. And that, and that wasn't the dog's fault. As far as just straight baying, that dog right there be one of the hardest dogs to beat that I seen.
Oh yeah.
So I like to throw it out there. And 012 now, he was on now. He was doing his thing.
I had people coming up to me that, don't even know nothing about a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Hog dog that was here just watching and stuff, and asked me about 12 and that black and tan dog in the woods class.
Yep.
And
they done good.
They did really, really good. And
I'd hate for them to put them two together in bay.
It'd be tough, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt. It'd be hard to beat them. Honestly, if they ran them in the pen a little while, it'd be hard to beat them in the pro stuff. I think they would be up to that level.
And we talked about that. We talked about having that diamond in the rough, show up.
Yes. I think
And that's
that's what happened.
I mean, that's what it's about. New people coming in, and and seeing that shine in a dog they didn't know, they didn't even know they had till they got here.
Yes.
And
there was a couple of dogs like that were that done extremely well in the woods event, but now there was a bunch of them that they didn't do as well as the owners thought they would do.
Oh yeah,
and that goes to the hogs. That's the stock, because some of it was pretty rough stock. I like it,
I had some that sure enough they sure
they beat them at the gate.
Yeah, they would.
There was a couple that got knocked through the gate.
Yeah,
I mean, just rammed.
That's the way I like it, man. I root for the hogs sometimes too,
Oh yeah.
And
that one spotted boar hog, that black and white one.
Yeah, he's rough.
He'd stand out in the middle of the pen, and in that woods event, it was tough enough. You could leave him in 2 or 3 times in a row and just say, okay, who's going to actually bait him?
Yeah.
I mean, that was phenomenal.
And he's a good hog too. Yeah. I caught him 5 miles from my house over here.
Really? Yeah, he's a good hog.
He's a good one. He really is.
There were several of them in there I seen that were top notch. No doubt.
I appreciate. I'm gonna have to up them just a little bit come December.
Yeah, you need you a good about 10 or 12 for that 2-dog. That the 2-dog woods event or the woods class. Yeah, you need you about a dozen of them. It's just tough. Maybe not a dozen. You might not need that many. I hope you do. I hope we have to swap hogs out a bunch. Have so many damn runs.
The hogs will be here. That's one thing about it. They'll be
here. Yeah. Well, like I said, if it's anything, the first time I went out there, the hogs were extremely good. This time all of them were extremely good. So you just keep doing what you're doing, and can't nobody complain about the pigs. That's for damn sure.
No, I mean that was my biggest deal, and I said it when I done it, and I'll stand by it. And I said if I was gonna bait good hogs, or I wasn't gonna have one, and
yeah.
And that's the way it's always going to be. I mean, I'll always have a good set of hogs, or I'll make sure.
It makes a difference.
It does. It does. And I like them just a little more fiery than some people, but
yeah. At that rate, there shouldn't be any reason they can't bay an everyday average hog. But some of those dogs, like when you draw, like we're talking about the dogs being even across the board or more even across the board now. What about the hogs? So at your bay, almost every hog there was 1 or 2 that really stood out. And I think there was one during the first day we bayed, he got a little slower in the ass end.
Yeah.
But other than that, they were pretty even. So if you go to another bay and you got a dog like mine or a couple of dogs like mine that can bay a rough hog, they can bay one that's set up. They can bay a set up hog even better. But say I draw the roughest hog there, and we run a 9-8. Well, then the next guy draws a hog that comes out and just sets up pretty as you please, and he bays a 10. Which is the better bay? Because, and I'm not saying that anybody's doing anything wrong by no means. We've talked about this before. I was like, we compare this to rodeo a lot. If we could score the hog and the dog as a combined score, I think it would be so much better.
Oh yeah.
But it'd be hard. It'd be hard to do that.
It would be.
I understand. You would have to have. There'd have to be a lot of restrictions lifted first. To where you could have everybody could have enough hogs to put a set together like that.
Oh yeah.
Because it would be super tough to have hogs that were all PBR status, you know.
Right.
And that, to me, that's what I like. I don't want to see a set up hog. You know, I want to see it something's bait.
Oh yeah.
But
And that's that's what it's coming to. You know,
yeah.
it's going to come down to where it's we're going to have that next level of hogs. Just like I mean now, the competition in the pro side is unreal.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's a lot of dogs that are very, very good.
Oh yeah, they are.
When I first started going, there was just a handful of dogs that were top tier dogs.
Yeah, now you out of I mean, you take a baying down there at Jake's, and you'll have
shoot, man,
130 in the pro class, and then you've got 75 in the first bay off.
Yes. I think we had like 140 something, and then we had like 70 in the bay off, and it wasn't because of it. Like I said, there's so many good dogs.
Oh yeah, the competition.
They're all getting the competition is, and it's getting steeper and steeper every day. Every time I go to a bay, this past bay, what Ronnie Creek brought out, boys, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If that's his puppies, if y'all didn't get to see it and y'all wasn't there, hey, y'all missed it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if they hold true to what they're doing right now, and let's see, and Tyler, he's got that bay coming up. They ought to do good there, and then they'll be able to do puppy all the way through the October bay.
Yeah,
I think they were 8 months old, so it's crazy. Some of them bastards was good, and that was only half of them. He only brought half of them, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, like here, they didn't draw no easy pig either.
No,
I mean,
no.
I mean, they had a pretty rough little hog.
Well, he ran them in the pro class too, in the open class.
Yeah,
and they did. I mean, they did good.
Oh yeah, they did.
Now they got that one group of puppies. Well, that one pair, they got a rank hog, and they bait him. I think it was a 9.8 or 9.9, but they had to work the entire time.
Yeah.
So I seen that, like I said, and with the heat, it was 100+ degrees. They didn't act like it even bothered them.
No, so, we run that whole bay, and it was right at almost 200 entries, I think.
Yeah.
I had 3 catchouts on 200.
Yeah, there was, like I said, I knew there wasn't many. We had won the last 8 seconds with OJ.
Yeah.
And then I think Monica had one.
Yep.
Who else had it? There wasn't many.
I
knew there wasn't more than 5.
No, there was 3 or 4. There might have been 4.
Yeah, I was thinking, so I knew there couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 at all.
My goal was to run them with 0, but
yeah,
happened, but
I was trying to think, dadgummit, how many it was, because me and you were talking about it, and now there was a few that got caught after time, and they were, of course, when the hog was running, trying to return back with people trying to separate the dog and the hog and all that. There was some that grabbed a hold, but they weren't a catch out.
No.
Now, while they were baying, there was only, as far as counts, I think there was only a handful of times that the count was ever started. Period.
Yeah, there wasn't very many.
No, not at all. So you keep them hogs like that, it keeps the level of dogs up too. It really tells on what the dogs are.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna try to get just a notch above what them was for December. So hopefully that works. Them hogs held up pretty good considering. I mean, I run that on 20.
Yeah, I was thinking to say there wasn't a huge amount, and they all held up really good.
They did. They started, right there towards the last of the 2 dog. There was a couple of them started falling off. But I think in December, they'll be feeling a little more frisky and froggy, and
oh yeah,
hopefully hopefully we won't have to deal with 100 degrees.
Yeah, ain't no doubt that and that'll change. That changes everything. The dogs will be a little spunky. The hogs will be a little more spunky. We'll all feel a little more spunky, hopefully.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Well,
Hopefully.
you know, I'm really looking forward to it.
Man,
It's a long drive for us, but
Oh,
at the
yeah.
same time, it's worth it. And there was a few people that came. I mean, Carter, he came over, and he drove from Georgia to Alabama and rode with us. Brother Don Coggins, he drove like probably 16, 17 hours. Had to be.
He told me 18. I think
Okay,
he said.
Yeah, he had to be that far.
Don's been here both shows. He come last first or so of y'all, you know, and I mean that's why I do it, you know, is give somebody a spot to go and you know and come and you know and run a woods dog if they need to or if they want to, you know, and every time here that I've had it, and me and you talked about this too, there's a ton of new people.
Yep.
You know,
there's
a ton of people show up, you know, that, I mean, that's just, I mean,
and most of them are just woods guys. They hunt.
Yep. Yeah, just woods guys.
And they're within probably 4 or 5 hours of driving around you. You know, so, and you got local guys that are showing up or people that are more local. They come out and they support it. There was a couple of groups of younger folks that come out just to hang out, and they were going, you know, they were going to run. They ran their woods dogs on Friday, and that's all. That was their only intention. Then they said, "Hey, we're coming back tomorrow." And they came back Saturday, stayed run the whole show, man.
Yeah, they did.
So it turned out from one or two dogs being entered in a $30 class to, I think they brought like 6 or 8 more the next day. And run them in the one dog and the two dog and just you know, it was a good show and doing things like that, it should grow every time.
I hope so. I mean, we have a lot of fun, you know, doing it, and it's something I've always wanted to do. You know, I don't make the, you know, a lot of the big bands anymore. It's just I'm so busy, you know, with guiding and stuff.
Well,
and I
know you got a lot of stuff going on.
But I put a deposit on a puppy yesterday, so that's fixing to change. I'm gonna make a few if it turns out. So we'll see how that goes. But
right on.
She turns out all right. I'll make a trip or two.
Make a trip or two. Hell yeah.
Yep, just visit.
Hey, we love to have you. Like I said, we try to make all that we can. There in the past couple of years, you know, I made a declaration. I said I'm going to go to every one that I can go to, and we're going to see how all the people, all the hogs, all the dogs, we're going to see how everything's done at each area, and see if there's a big difference. Because you always hear, you know, well, in Texas they do this, or Louisiana they do this, or in Oklahoma, or in Georgia, blah blah blah. Let me tell you something. It's all the same.
We all hog hunters, man.
Everybody loves hogs and dogs. At every bay, there's somebody bitching. At every bay, there's a bunch of people having fun. There's quite a few that's done drank a little too much. There's going to be one or two get mad and go home. And then they're going to come back every time.
That's right.
And we have hogs and dogs. Yes, dude, it's been the same, like I said, whether I've been in Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, or Oklahoma. Now, it is there's different levels, you know.
Oh, yeah, is.
There's different levels of competition. Mm. Like at one place, it's more about competition, but they're all still a group. And then had the next place where it's just like, hell, look, guys, we're just hanging out drinking beer, you know. So, right. But man, it's a good deal. We just need to keep it alive and keep it going. And what you're doing is really helping. I appreciate you doing this phone call with us.
Oh yeah, you bet.
Taking time out of your day to do that.
I'm kind of excited about the woods deal. I really think that's going to turn into something. You know,
it is.
I bet I had probably man, I probably had 200 calls on that last baying, and I bet 75% of them was that woods class.
Really?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Is that thing blanket again? How much we got
People.
there? Okay. Well, that's
Just
that's what it's
people.
gonna take is people being there because we can't bay if we ain't got no people.
No, that's right. That is right. But I think the 2-dog deal, I think it'll be fun.
I think it will too because there's gonna be more people that their dogs work better with 2 dogs, and they're gonna take a chance on it.
Oh yeah,
I
for
hope
sure.
they do. We're gonna be there, and we're gonna try to have some stuff organized and set up, and I'll get with you on this on some of that to where we got. I don't know. We might put together like maybe some karaoke or something for Friday night or something when everybody gets there.
Right. Everybody gets few beers in them.
Yeah. We might do something like that. It really when Jake got Jaybird to start coming to the shows and stuff, man, it really changed the whole atmosphere.
It does. It changes the game
does.
of it.
Yeah. But you can't have too much because then people get to having too much fun and forget what they're doing over here. So you got to find that medium.
That medium in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did, when everybody had a theme song and different people's got a theme, like Goose or Code Red or
that's right.
Or one of them. It's it gives it's a whole different jive on the and I think I'm a big believer, what's in that arm goes down that lead.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, if you walk up there thinking you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, that dog's going to be 10 foot tall.
That's that energy. He's working off that energy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, my baby sister, she bought a big old setup, and it's not like a little karaoke deal. It's got giant PAs. It's a huge setup, and I think there's 300 and something thousand songs she's got downloaded already. And you could use it the same way that like kind of like what Jaybird's doing. You could sit up there and just play a song. Nobody has to sing it.
Right, yeah.
And that would probably be for the best.
Yeah, it'd be good.
So yeah. Until everybody gets some few beers in them, then it'd be all right.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you can bay, but you got to sing your own theme song.
Yeah. Yeah. That is right.
All right, brother. Well, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna put the word out. We're gonna advertise. As soon as you get the flyer and stuff made up, or whatever else you need to do, we're gonna keep putting it out there.
Hunter took some really good pictures. She's supposed to send me some.
Yeah.
I'll get the flyer made up and send it to you. This one here is going to be a buckle baying. I'm going to give away buckles.
Right. Well, that right there will get a few people's interest already.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll
just
be
having them buckles.
Yep. It'll be a buckle baying first place in every class will get a buckle.
Hell yeah.
2-dog will have 2 buckles. The 2 dogs woods will have 2 buckles. It ought to be a good one. I'm hoping it is. It should be.
Good.
Hopefully.
All right, buddy. Well, is there anything else you want to add to it?
Nope, I don't guess.
All right. We think we've done got about an hour on here, so that'd be a pretty good little segment there. We do appreciate you and all the work that you do to get this stuff ready. That's just like with Jake or Mr. Mark or any of those guys. When they're putting something like this together, people don't see how much work you have to do just leading up to it, and then how much you have to do after it's over.
Oh yeah, so, and I at y'all. Driving. That means a lot to us. People driving. As far as y'all do to come and support us. So.
Well, that's one of them deals. It's kind of take care of who takes care of you. If we all don't work together, we're going nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, till if anything new pops up or something, man, holler at me and let me know. And if we need to do another episode, just let me know, man. We'll do it again.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, Rusty. We appreciate you.
All right.
All right.
Thank y'all.
All right. Thank you, buddy. See
You
ya.
bet. Bye-bye.